Welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. We just watched the trailer for Office Christmas Party.
Isn't it funny how Jennifer Aniston does comedy now?
Hasn't she always done comedy?
Oh, yeah.
That's right, baby. It's time for Movie Trailer Trash. Enjoy. Hello. Like we said, this is Movie Trailer Trash. We just watched the trailer for Office Christmas Party. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Bethany.
Office Christmas Party coming out in December, obviously, because it's technically a Christmas movie.
Wow, it's coming out in December. That is so clever of them.
That is clever of them. You know what would have been really clever if it came out in, August.
Oh, that would have been the worst.
But, I mean, it doesn't really matter when it comes out, though, because it could have literally been anything. It has nothing to do with Christmas. It's a Christmas party.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
So this movie is ultra star-studded. However, it's ultra star-studded from about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe.
Well, no, I think it's kind of interesting because it's not just that. Like, it has the same people from Horrible Bosses. Almost everybody from Horrible Bosses, right? Jennifer Aniston, Jason Sudeikis. No, Jason Sudeikis was the one that's not in it. Jason Bateman is in it. Okay, so it has two people.
Here it is. It's the people in this movie.
It has two people from
the
Horrible
most
Bosses.
Famous people. Kate McKinnon is in this movie. Jennifer Aniston is in this movie. Olivia Munn, Jason Bateman, and T.J. Miller.
Okay, so Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston were both in Horrible Bosses. And this, when I watched it, I was just like, this has Horrible Bosses written all over it. It feels to me a lot like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my concern is that it'll actually be a lot more like the movie where Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds swap lives.
Well, it's funny you should say that because the writer for this movie, John Lucas, also wrote The Change-Up.
Oh, is that what it's called, The Change-Up?
Yeah, and he also wrote him and someone else also wrote the movie Bad Moms.
Oh, interesting.
Which is getting decent reviews.
Because
which people are saying more and more that it's really good that I'm hearing about. I haven't seen it yet.
But just
and
about Bad Moms.
They also wrote all 3 Hangovers.
Okay, and it screams of Hangover. It basically is like Hangover Christmas edition, whatever. But I was going to say about Bad Moms. I wanted to do an episode on Bad Moms, and Charlie was like, I don't want to do that. That's the attitude he had about it.
Is that the attitude? I just thought it looked bad.
You're like, I don't want to do that. And I was like,
was I really tired at the time?
No, you were just very scoffy. You're like,
that.
I don't want to do that.
Sounds like I'm stretching.
Look,
now.
I just know how you sound, and that's exactly how you sound. But no, and I was kind of upset because I'm like, it looks so funny to me. I can't believe you're not interested in it at all. You said, it's not that it looked terrible to you. You just weren't interested. And look, I'm not a mom. I don't relate to that. But those 4 main girls in that movie are hilarious. They're all great actors.
I don't know about hilarious.
Okay.
I don't know if Mila Kunis is hilarious.
It's Mila, first of all.
Yeah, see?
You're always calling her Mila.
I do love Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell is very funny. And
although that new show that she's in on whatever channel looks awful.
We can't even get started on that because we literally don't know what's happening.
We have no idea what's happening. It's called The Good Place, and it's filled with terrible jokes.
If you watched the Olympics, then you saw this commercial.
Yeah.
With Kristen Bell, and you probably, just like us, were like, what is happening and why?
Ted Danson is like God or something. I don't know.
It's awful. Okay, so we're getting on a tangent, but okay. Kristen Bell is very funny. The lady from Parks and Rec, do you know her name?
The campaign manager?
Campaign manager from Parks and Rec is very funny.
Mila Kunis, I think she might be in this one,
I think
too.
is a good comedic actress.
You do?
Yeah. I love her in Date Night, and I think Date Night is a hilarious movie.
She's in Date Night?
Yeah, her and James Franco. And they're the people that they should have been after, but then they think that Steve Carell is James Franco.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I can't go into it, but she's really funny. Also, she was from That 70s Show. I mean, she's a comedic actress.
That 70s Show.
Yeah, but she's funny is all I'm saying. I like her better as a comedic actress than anything else. When she tries to be even remotely serious, which the only thing I've seen
she was in a movie with Jason Bateman called Extract, which was kind of boring, but it was all right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, okay, so I think
so there you go.
Hang on, I do think it's interesting though because I had no idea beforehand that guy. You said that's the writer.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that it was the same guy, and that's the whole time I was thinking it kind of feels like The Hangover, but I'm afraid it's going to be more like The Change-Up. And the reason I say I'm afraid is because
I really like The Change-Up.
Hang on, The Change-Up was surprisingly fun, but it's lesser than it could be.
Yeah, it's silly.
That's how I felt.
It's stupid.
I felt like, yeah, there wasn't.
Which is just like this one.
There wasn't enough. I mean, okay, not that there's a lot of meat to The Hangover, but The Hangover I think was just such a special. It was just perfection. You know, like that shouldn't have worked, but it did.
Right.
You know, like it wasn't a great story. It wasn't like, you know, whatever. It just had so many good, funny liners, you know, funny dialogue, funny one-liners and whatever, that it worked. And then, of course, they try to just do it again and again, and people were like, oh, my God, stop.
Here's the thing about this movie, is that I think it's going to be very funny.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think it's going to be very bad.
That's what I'm afraid of.
No, but like it's going to be bad, but it's going to be hilarious. But I respect it because it clearly knows what it is. You know, they're not trying to set up any sort of plot or story at all. They're just like, here's this party where a lot of crazy stuff happens and a lot of funny things are going to happen.
Well, I imagine that last year the party got out of control and this year...
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. There's no party there's no office party on the planet that looks like that.
But
it's out of control.
What I'm trying to say is I think that last year the party got out of control. So the boss is saying there will not be a party this year. And they're like, yeah, right. And then there's a crazy party.
I think that that's the
plot.
Comedy movie version of Hardee's.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, so McDonald's, Wendy's, all those fast food places, they have like, you know, smoothies and like salads with strawberries in them to try and make it seem like they also have healthy options for people who want to be healthy. And Hardee's is just like, here's a 5-patty cheeseburger with melted queso and bacon and an entire chicken fried on top of it. Eat it. It's this big. It's as big as your head, and you should eat it and get fat.
Okay. And you're saying that this is like, we know this is terrible, but it's what you want.
Right. Exactly.
And you know what? I think that that's fair because now I definitely don't want more people to go around doing it, but I think it's okay every once in a while to have a movie, just like it's okay every once in a while to go to Hardee's, maybe every couple of years.
You can't eat Hardee's every day. You'll die in a week.
This is my advice. You go to Hardee's more than once every couple of years. Don't do that. I seriously think I usually say
that'll legitimately harm your health.
I usually say to myself, I haven't been to Hardee's in a couple of years, and then I go, and then I immediately, I'm like, not going again.
Oh,
and then,
that's why.
You know, it happens again.
But while you're eating it, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I don't go here every day.
That's so funny. I forgot all about Hardee's existing in the world.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so horrible bosses. Because I think that the best thing we can do about this movie, other than talk about who's in it, because there's a couple other people you did mention, but anyway,
there's going to be a lot of appearances.
The thing that I would like to do is compare this to other movies because I think that it has a lot of similarities to other movies, and we can talk about why and whatnot and how we felt about those movies we can compare it to. But first of all, you said, I think her name, the girl from SNL.
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. Very funny person. Probably the funniest person on SNL right now, I would venture to say. And was just in Ghostbusters. I think she has a good career ahead of her, and she looks like she's gonna be very Kate McKinnon in this though. She looks like she's straight up an SNL character.
Yeah, she's doing that
her
yuppie character a little bit. Not yuppie, more of like just like upper middle class.
Yeah, she has a cheese plate.
Yeah,
she's like, all right, before we get started with this meeting, here's a cheese plate sample for tonight. And it's pretty funny. She's wearing like a Christmas sweater and everybody else is in their business attire. So I think she's going to be great. And then another, like probably a cameo that I saw that surprised me was the girl from 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
That fights them at the end and is really intense. I was surprised to see her. I haven't seen her in a while. And the thing is, she drove me nuts in 22 Jump Street. I was like, I don't like that girl.
Was writing.
I don't really find her funny. She annoys me, but I know she was supposed to annoy me. But then I don't remember what it was. But I remember toward the end, there was something in the movie that she did where I was like, even though I hated every second of her, that one thing she did was so funny that I like her.
That wasn't her. That was writing. Because that was they were just trying to stuff as many insults into her dialogue as possible.
That's true, but there was something that happened at the end. I can't remember what when she was fighting with Jonah Hill, where I lost it, and it was so funny. So I'm just saying, based on that one little thing, I think she's a funny girl, and it's cool. She like kind of appeared in the commercial, and she was like, "Hey, you want to party tonight?"
Hey, Santa, want to party?
Yeah, and I think she is funny. What else has she been in? Because I feel like I've seen her in something else.
She's in Workaholics. She's the coworker in Workaholics, and she's really funny. In that.
And she was talking to the Workaholics guy. He was Santa.
No, that's T.J. Miller.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he looks just like the other guy to me. They both have curly hair.
I know he doesn't. Have curly hair.
I know
T.J.
he
Miller
doesn't.
is like a giant person, and that guy's super skinny.
The guy from Workaholics was in that 90s kid movie.
Dope.
Okay, that's the guy from Workaholics.
Yes.
Okay, I seriously get them confused, even though their faces are totally different, but they have the same hair. So I can't handle it. So let's move on. So anyway, that was something interesting. I just wanted to point out that girl was in it. You're right. There's going to be a lot of little cameos and
I will say
things
this.
like that.
What worries me most about the cast and crew for this movie is the director who did Blades of Glory and The Switch, which is where
oh my goodness, I was
going to
mention The Switch.
And Jennifer Aniston, and Jason Bateman hilariously mixes up his
no,
whatever.
You didn't see that movie, did you?
No.
Sounds like you did.
It looked really, really stupid.
I was going to say that I thought it was interesting that Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston worked together again because they were obviously in Horrible Bosses, but also in The Switch. And even though The Switch was not a very good movie, I thought that him and her had a decent chemistry together, and I liked them together. The Switch, the premise of it, is this guy is best friends with Jennifer Aniston and has been for a long time. She decides that she wants to get some, semen so she can have her own child. She decides she doesn't need a man. She's tried and she's never found someone. She just wants to have a kid. And so I guess they have a guy come over and bring his sample or something. And okay, you're right, actually.
It is stupid.
No, because I was going to say, I thought he did it on purpose because he liked her, which I think he did like her.
No,
it wasn't.
In the trailer, he was drunk
it.
and he knocked it off of a shelf because he opened her medicine cabinet and he was looking at it and he was like, whoops.
So anyway, but what?
It's like one of those black and white infomercial things
You're
where
right.
someone
So
drops
it was
all
an
the
accident.
bread.
So what happened was he was like, well, crap, I can't leave her with no semen. So he ejaculates into the thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Why you got to say it like
I'm
that?
sorry. But the thing that's funny is he can't remember if that was a dream or not because he was drunk.
That was so
And
gross.
then he finds out way later, he starts to get to know the kid and he finds out that it's his. And I don't know. They fall in love. It's fine. It's just not a great movie. And I'm afraid, actually, that this will be like that.
Well, because
that
Blades
movie
of
was
Glory
funny
isn't
also.
good either.
But see, the thing is, The Switch was funny, but not good. You know what I'm saying? Just like you were saying about this.
I have a feeling
Funny,
it
but not
also
good.
wasn't funny, though.
No, it was funny. It just was. It was more of a romance than a comedy. It was a romantic comedy, but it was funny. I mean, Jason Bateman is funny.
All this movie is
funny.
going to be is let's fill this party with as many funny, ridiculous things happening as we can possibly think of, with no regard to character or story at all.
Yes, and I think the biggest problem is it's like taking your favorite episode of take one of the episodes of The Office and they have a silly party and stuff happens and whatever. Lampshade on head, Michael Scott, whatever. Meredith shows her boobs. Okay, we're going to The Office right now. Go there with me in your mind. Those are funny, but they're 30 minutes long. Can you imagine a whole hour and a half show just about, basically about one day? Now, I think that usually those type of things, it's pushing it. It kind of makes me think of that Seth Rogen movie Last Night or Last Christmas or whatever, where it's like, hey, we're about to have a baby, so I'm going to give you a bunch of drugs and send you off with your friends for a night. That's literally what she says.
Is that what she says?
Yeah. Yeah, is that girl in this movie too?
What girl?
The girl from that movie. Anyway.
I don't remember that movie. No one
she
saw
literally,
that movie.
She gives him a bunch of coke and is like, go wild because we're about to have a kid. Of course no one saw that movie. I'm like, what? However, I bet you it was funny
Anthony
because
Mackie and Joseph
the commercial
Gordon-Levitt
made me laugh.
Are Seth Rogen's friends?
I remember that the trailer made me laugh, but I also was like, what a ridiculous concept. What an irresponsible thing for someone who's about to be a mom to tell her husband to do. Go off and take a bunch of drugs. Hopefully you won't die before I have this child. What an idiot. But okay. That, I'm pretty sure, was literally it's all in the course of a Christmas Eve. And I bet you it has the same problem that this one will have, which is just you have to push the realm of believable. Obviously, it's like The Hangover. It's not believable, but you have to push it because it's even if a bunch of crazy stuff happened, there's going to be more crazy stuff in this. It's you can't fit all of that into one day.
Well, yeah, it's going to be
the
a sketch
one-day
show
comedy
is what it's going to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It has nothing to do with Horrible Bosses. No director, nothing.
No.
Okay, because it felt a lot like Horrible Bosses to me, but that might just be because I saw Jennifer Aniston's face.
And Jason Bateman.
That's why I was saying she's a comedic actress now, because obviously Friends is comedy, and I forgot that for a second.
I think that what you were thinking about was just the fact that she hasn't worked in a while, and now she's getting all these movies in a row.
Well, I guess what I'm thinking of is that like she's legit, like she was a comedic actress, but she played the pretty girl, and she still does, but she's more comedic than she is the pretty girl now. Like it kind of reminds me of Zac Efron. When you look at him, you're like, oh, he should probably just play the hot guy, pretty guy. That's it. But he's actually like a really talented comedic actor, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Okay, because you gave a face. I think that's how...
he didn't do comedy before.
No, but what I'm saying is he's a pretty
did
face.
musicals.
Hairspray was a comedy. But it's a comedic movie. Anyway, the point is he's a pretty face and she's a pretty face. Now she's getting older.
She's a pretty face.
And I think it's good that she's, moving into this because she is getting older. But the thing is, she is a pretty face, but now she's really being a really great comedic actress where you don't really care that she's pretty. She's not necessarily playing the hot person. Usually they'll mention it like, oh, hey, your boss is hot. But it's like a kind of a passing thing.
That was her whole thing in Horrible Bosses.
Yes. But she was very funny is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, What I'm trying to say is I like her a lot as a comedic actress. And I think as she's getting older, she's just getting better. Go Jennifer Aniston. Woo woo.
Okay. Okay. On that woo woo, let's move on to where, when, and how you're going to see this movie. Where? When? How? Are you going to see this movie?
Okay.
All right. So this movie, I have a feeling that I may never see it.
Yeah.
But I think that if I do see it, it will be very late night. Maybe on a weekend night where I had nothing going on at all the entire night. And then it gets to like 11 o'clock and I'm just going through Netflix after watching 8 House Hunters in a row. And then I'm looking at it.
This is very specific.
And I see it. And I'm just like, fine. And then I put it on and I laugh my ass off. But I never watch it again.
Yeah. And I feel, I have a similar feeling, and this is what I was going to say. I feel like I will treat it the way I did the Change-Up. You told me the Change-Up was funny, and you told my siblings that, and we were like, there's nothing to do this weekend. Nothing's really out, and so we watched that, and we all laughed and laughed, but I couldn't even tell you a single joke from it. I don't remember it. No. I just remember that it made me laugh, and that they peed in the fountain. I mean, that's how it all went down.
Yeah.
It made me laugh a lot, and I remember being like, that was pleasantly surprising. I will never watch it again. It wasn't worth that. And so I was going to say I could see myself on a weekend when you're like looking through Redbox and you're just like, how is there nothing in the Redbox?
See, I was going to say I would certainly not spend money on this.
No, I would spend Redbox money on this, but I was going to say,
you got that Redbox money?
Yeah. But no, seriously, like, you know how it is. Like, you're looking through Redbox and you're looking through Vudu and you're looking through Netflix and you're just like, oh my gosh, why is there nothing to watch? And then you're like, you know what? You want to watch this movie? Yeah, let's watch Office Christmas Party. Why not? And then you have a great time. And it's just it's a fun ride. And then it's over and you're good. You're done.
Yes.
So I agree with you.
I have a feeling that also drugs and alcohol would probably make this much better.
Well, I feel like that's kind of a misleading statement because I have very little experience with drugs or alcohol. But don't they make most things better according to those who enjoy those things?
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't, especially alcohol. You wouldn't get drunk and go see, Swiss Army Man. You would have no idea what's going on. You would be like, what is happening?
That would have made that movie so much better for me.
No.
I'm just kidding. I've never been drunk before. Don't know what it feels like. But
you're such a nerd.
I am. But I think people who enjoy getting high would probably say getting high makes every movie better.
No. There's some that think about it.
I'm
there's
just saying,
some movies that are so confusing. I think I've heard people say
things like that before.
That are so confusing. If you went to go see Gone Girl and you were high.
Oh my gosh. You'd start getting so paranoid.
Well, yeah.
Seriously, because I was paranoid as a normal non-high person.
You would have no idea what was happening.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. But I'm just saying, as far as comedies go,
have you ever
you could probably say that.
Have you ever watched it on Weed Man?
What is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Is that from something?
Yeah.
What's it from?
I think it's Half Baked. I think that Dave Chappelle movie.
Hmm.
It's Jon Stewart. It's Jon Stewart's character where he's talking about how every movie is better on weed.
Weird.
Yeah, it's good, but have you ever seen it on weed?
Anyway, okay. So let's go in to the Rotten Tomatoes ratings.
Surely. Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
I feel like we have been all over the place on this podcast. We've got a lot to say about this movie. Movie-wise, critic-wise. Okay.
Oh, okay. Movie-wise and critic-wise.
All right. I think that critics are not going to like this that much.
Nope.
I think they're going to give it 52%. That seems fair. I mean, they'll probably be like, they'll probably say what we said. They'll say, it's a fun time, but you won't remember it.
I was going to say 44.
When it's over.
44.
That's fine. But I bet you critics will say, like, you have some laughs, and then you move on, and you'll never want to see it again.
Yeah. And I think that if that was just the case, they would give it a 55, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think the added thing of there being no story.
Yeah, that makes critics real mad, and I don't blame them.
Bump it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe even lower than 44. But I think that it might be funny enough to stay there.
And here's me just hoping, because I really want it to be funny. I want to enjoy it. I hope that it's as good as Horrible Bosses, because that's what I kept thinking the whole time. Because I kept thinking, this looks bad, but if it's anything like Horrible Bosses, then it'll blow my mind. In it. You're right, but still. And neither is Kevin Spacey.
Or Jason Sudeikis.
Dang it. If this movie could just add those people for me, I'd be all over it. Watch it in theater.
Or Colin Farrell.
You're right. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. For anyone, just take a moment here. Go with me. For anyone who has not seen Horrible Bosses, the first one, go see it. It is never too late. I mean it.
Well, it's not in theaters anymore.
Well, go see it. There's a way. Go. Get out there. Find it. I don't know where it's at. But seriously, I think I own it. So come hang out.
Come hang out.
But no, seriously, think about that cast. Kevin Spacey, Jennifer Aniston, Colin Farrell, Jason Sudeikis, Jason Bateman, and Charlie Day.
Those
I'm like getting
people.
excited. I'm like getting goosebumps thinking about those people.
Those are all the people in the movie.
Those people are all good actors on all fronts and all very funny. And I'm just saying, if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? All right. I haven't seen the second one. I will not comment on that because I don't think that's fair. I haven't seen it. Okay. Audience. I'm hoping. Sorry. Audience. I'm hoping that the audience will like it and it'll be real fun. A real romp. I'm going to say 66%.
Audience, I'm going to say 58.
That's fair. I mean, like we've said, it's probably not going to be that good, but those people are great. It will have moments that make you laugh a ton. And I think it'll be really good for all of those kind of lesser known comedic actors that are getting more opportunities because people are going to go out and see this. At the very least, it's going to make money.
Well, one of the reasons that I think that it'll be that low is because, there's not a lot of comedies being made in general.
Yeah.
And so when a comedy comes out with people that, people
Great
have seen
actors
before,
mm-hmm.
and like everyone's going to go see it, even though it's not going to necessarily be their thing.
First choice. They're like, well, it's a comedy. You're right. It is weird, isn't it? What the heck happened to comedies?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second? I mean, what have we had this summer? We've had Ghostbusters, Sausage Party,
Ghostbusters,
and Neighbors 2. I mean, that was more spring, but still.
Neighbors 2.
Well,
I think the best comedy that's come out this year has been The Nice Guys.
Okay, and that's one I haven't seen, but yeah. But you would say, wouldn't you say that's not really a comedy?
I mean, it's an action comedy mystery, I guess. But
that's why I knew people who were
It's more of a crime drama.
Yeah.
It's a buddy cop crime comedy.
Yeah, it just has, yeah.
It's just like we just watched Lethal Weapon recently. It's very much like that because it's the same guy that wrote it.
Okay, but nobody would call Lethal Weapon a comedy, even though it's very funny.
Right.
So I think that's what I would say about Nice Guys too. And I'm thinking back, like, not that long ago, we had like, for what I would say is a golden era of comedies.
Oh, wow.
For our generation.
The Judd Apatow era.
No, well, yeah, a little bit, but right after he got big, right after Judd Apatow, because
Seth Rogen took over.
We have those comedies. We've talked about this before with like Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell, back in the day, okay, when we were kids. And everybody, kids or even before our time, 80s, 90s. Everybody liked them. It was funny. It was goofy. It was weird. You went with it, right? Dodgeball. Weird stuff.
Yeah.
But you went with it. It was funny.
Anchorman, crazy weird.
Anchorman, Talladega Nights, the
I don't know
Ballad
if
of
any
Ricky
like,
Bobby.
I don't think anyone realizes how weird Anchorman was. Like, if it's been a while since you've seen Anchorman, go back and watch it, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, this was weird."
The 40-Year-Old Virgin, that was a
Yeah.
funny one. But okay, so a lot of weird movies. And then the golden age, what I would call the golden age, was when we had Role Models, I Love You Man. Then we had, what was it that we had before Horrible Bosses? I don't know, but we had Horrible Bosses.
Uh-huh.
All of those movies, plus probably a lot of the Seth Rogen movies.
Get him to the Greek.
Get Him to the Greek. That's some.
God,
that's
I
very.
I love that.
That's
movie.
very. Oh, that's the one. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's what I was trying
Yeah.
to. So Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Those movies that we just named were all amazing, and Charlie's
And I
obsessed with
think
Get Him to the Greek.
released within like 2 years of
Well,
each
within
other.
5 years at least. Within
Yeah.
5 years of each other. So basically, they were all like released right around the time I was in college. So like. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe when you're in college, you think things are funnier. I don't
Maybe.
know.
It's
But
possible.
like right around like from like 2007 to like 2010. You know, Zombieland. That was great.
I
So,
think
just
if you're gonna count
awesome movies.
Zombieland as a comedy, that you should count Nice Guys as a comedy.
Okay. But I think okay, I'll give you that. I haven't seen Nice Guys, so who am I to say? But those movies were so good. And I was going to say, Charlie's obsessed with Get Him to the Greek.
I love Get Him to the Greek. I've
I'm
seen
not
Get Him
as
to the Greek
obsessed with
like
it,
15 times.
But it is a very quality, funny movie. I mean, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I was like hesitant. I wasn't interested in it. And I think it was my sister was like, you got to see it. And it was, oh my gosh, blow your mind kind of funny. I'm serious. I remember just being like, how on earth is Jason Segel this funny? How could he be so funny? I knew he was funny, but not that funny.
yeah,
So
I mean, it's
anyway,
getting
that
to
was
the
like the
point
little
where
golden age. And like you said, it was like 5 years and like 7 great comedies came out.
It's
like
getting to the
really
point
great comedies.
where the funniest movies, like the best comedies that are coming out, are Marvel movies.
Yeah, and that is so sad because not because Marvel movies aren't good. They're great and they're very funny, but that makes me really sad because I want someone out there to write some comedies just for the sake of comedy because there's tons of good actors out there who would love to write. They just need their shot and we need some of that, I think.
Hey, do something weird.
Because
Do something weird that you know has not been seen before that only makes you laugh.
well, yeah, because all those movies we mentioned, the what I call the golden age, so the ones after the Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, all of those had a very similar feel to them, similar to Hangover, that kind of feel. Whereas when you go back to the weird ones like Dodgeball and Will Ferrell and all those movies, when you go back to those all had a similar feel. So what's the next feel going to be? What's the next comedic kind of genre? No, the next comedic. Help me out.
No, I want to
What's the
see
word?
you get
No,
it.
what's the word?
Let me hear it.
I don't know the word.
The next comedic.
The next comedic style?
Sure.
That's the one. That's the word. I was going to lose my mind for a second. What is the next comedic style going to be that takes over the next decade?
Silent.
Is what I want to know.
Silent films coming back.
Shut up. No, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I want to challenge all of you comedic actors,
Slapstick,
writers out
probably.
there, all of you comedic writers out there to find the new style. Because, I mean, comedy does go in waves. You can tell even with the way television comedies are, old sitcoms, and then you have the Office style. You know, comedy comes in waves. You get the different kinds, and I'm excited to see what's next, but we got to have people actually get out there and write some comedies.
Well, there you go.
Do it,
Good,
folks.
Good a note to end on as any.
Sure. All right. You want to say some things about some people and some stuff?
Sure. Things, people, stuff. Firstly, website. Go look at it. Go listen to it. Go read about it. Do the things you got to do.
Read about it.
mttpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at mttpodcast. We'll tweet stuff out, mostly just when we put up a new episode. But follow us for that because you want to know when we have new episodes. You like listening to the episodes.
Yeah. You don't want to miss the next episodes.
Yeah.
The next episodes.
The next episodes, all 500 of them. What? Sorry.
All right.
And also, go out and check out Entertainment Buffet's channel on YouTube. They got a lot of funny stuff on there. Sketches, podcasts, things that are great.
They're coming out with new stuff all the time.
Yeah, we are on there.
It's great.
I mean, you can't
Ooh.
see us or anything.
And here's something. Keep an eye out for a new little segment that I'll be doing on YouTube as a part of MTT Podcast. So just keep an eye out for that. We'll post it on Twitter when it happens.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Thanks for listening with us, talking with us, whatever. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.
The next comedic
Style.